we couldn't come up with a big basket when we needed it. And I thought our defense was fine. Our defense was great. Even the last shot that Gordon made, it's a challenge jump shot with a hand in his face, and you got to give him credit. He jumped up and made it. I just thought we have to be a little more physical in what we're doing. Holding our grounds. The offensive rebounds. I mean, they only got 12 of them. Which is pretty doggone good, but it seemed like they came at the most inopportune time. And as I said, we're a work in progress. I was happy. They shot 44%. Scored 85 points. Those are the games that I think we have to win. But obviously our offense, we never got into any kind of flow, and I'm not so sure if it was what they did defensively, and I'm sure it was some of that, but a lot of it was what we did offensively. We got to get out and run. We got to be able to, create space for Steve to drive lanes. We got to be able to roll and catch and finish, and then, we got to knock down shots. I think we counted 9, wide open shots with no one within 5 feet of us that, we're going to have to make some of those. But, it's one game. It's unfortunate for us. We just can't afford to lose home games, and in a season that's shortened. But it is what it is, and we have to just come back, and we'll get a good practice in tomorrow. I was happy with the way Robin played. I thought he did a really good job. I was happy with the way Markieff played. He's going to have good plays, and he's going to have plays where he struggled, but I think you can see that he's going to be a pretty doggone good player. And Steve was Steve, and we just got to get a little more scoring from our wings. I didn't think our wings played, really, really good. And if you add up the shooting percentage from our wings, we just didn't get very much from there. In some kind of way, we got to generate some offense, between Grant and JD and Shannon and Josh. We're going to have to be a lot more efficient than we were tonight. So it's unfortunate because, obviously you want to start off on a real positive note, but, it's one game, and we'll come back tomorrow. And I think, the one thing that I was happy with, I thought we played hard and we competed. We just got to be able to hold our ground a little bit more. And we gave up too many just back down baskets to their post players, where we've got to hold our ground. And if there's going to be anything, it's going to have to be a jump shot over us. So, there's some things that we'll go back and we'll look at, but, it's one game. And, we have Philly coming in here on Wednesday, and we'll lace them up and see what happens.
You talked about the fourth quarter or about the offense struggling a little bit. It seemed like in the fourth quarter, a lot of possessions where you guys were 5 seconds or less on the shot clock.
Yeah, we got to be, and that's where I think we've got to be a little more aggressive. We weren't, we were on the perimeter too much. We got to get the ball going to the basket where we get them in rotation, and we ended up, too many times on the shot clock where we were taking a tough jump shot, challenge jump shot with a hand in our face.
You stayed with Robin all through the fourth quarter. Was that just the role he was on?
Well, he played well, and anyone knows that the way I coach, if you're out there and you're playing well, you deserve to stay out there. Nothing against Marsh. I think I thought Marsh played pretty good too. It's just that he was on such a role and had done such a good job. I just left him there.
It's probably the best game Robin's had in a year. How does he look physically? You think that's a big part of it?
Well, yeah, I think that's the major part of it. I think that he's actually healthy now. His vertical leap is, he lost 8 inches, and he's got about, almost all of that back. I just think he's in a much better place than he was, and I think mentally he's been really focused and locked in on what we're trying to do. So, like I said, I was happy with him, and I was happy with Gortat. If every night, we can get, 34 points and 15 rebounds, whatever from that spot, then that's pretty doggone good.
What did you see out of Markieff? Obviously, the turnover was going to stand at the end, but it seemed like he looked comfortable. Like after the first quarter or so, he looked aggressive with the shot and played some good.
Yeah, I think he's a poised guy, and as I said, that last play, he'll make that play. I thought he was the guy that, probably had the best chance of making the play for us, and you know, it just didn't happen. So you know, we'll see. We'll see. It's just gonna, like I said, he's gonna be a work in progress, and you know, I think he does have a comfort level out there that he feels like he belongs, and you know, he'll get better in some things, and you know, continue to improve. So, like I said, it's really the disappointing thing is that you know we were in a position where we probably had a great opportunity to win the game, an ugly game, you know, that we could have built on. But you know, we'll keep trying. I mean, it's not going to be something that's going to be easy, and I think you know, everybody's going to struggle a little bit from the start. You know, I see the Dallas score tonight, and you know, it's some teams are going to be ahead of others and feel comfortable, and some of us are going to have to find our way.
Jared struggled with his shot, but you kept him out there quite a while. Were you happy with his hustle and his work on
Yeah, he did a good job, and even on the last play, I mean, you know, we make a guy take a step back, you know, 20-foot shot, and you know, the credit has to go to them. JD didn't do anything wrong. You're just talking about a really good player, and as I said to you guys earlier today, to me, I think he's a guy that no one really talks about in the league. That, you know, I mean, I don't know why he's not mentioned with all the other guys. I mean, he's a great scorer, and I think, as I said, you put him on any team, he's going to get 20 points. You can put him on any team in the NBA. Miami, it doesn't matter. Some kind of way he'll be able to get 20 points. I thought we did a good job on him. You know, overall, we did a pretty good job on him. He made a great shot at the end of the game. He stepped back and made a jump shot. I mean, it's a shot that we would try to force him to take, and he knocked it in. All right, thanks.
This game, you know, it's tough for us, but I think if we keep playing with that intensity, I think we'll be okay.
I'd imagine you put in a lot of work in the offseason, and you know, a lot of people have said that the smile's back and the spring in your step is back. How did you feel there in the second half?
You know, I just felt back, feel good, get back playing with the guys, and you know, have them kind of feed off that enthusiasm and that intensity.
Was there maybe a moment where you had the realization kind of, you know, where this had gone from 2 years ago, where you felt like you were back?
You know, I think, you know, I knew some of the drama in the last season, but you know, I think we just did a good job of, there was a lot of intensity all around, I think. We did a good job of trying to, you know, put our best foot forward, I think, all around.
And defensively, you had a lot of success. What's your attribute that success?
Once again, I think I had to hark back to what we did in preseason. We went back, you know, looked at the mistakes we made, and any defensive improvements you got to attribute out to the team. We were in the right places. And we should get a been, you know, a step quicker here or there, and you know, maybe that would make a difference in the game. But I think you can see the work that we've been putting in.
What are your thoughts on Markieff's play?
That's, you know, I think that's going to be a good experience for him. He stepped up when we needed him for him, and most, you know, I think I was most impressed by how physical, how tough he was pursuing the boards out there and on defense.
See a bright future ahead for him. I saw you kind of grabbing him at one point, tapping him on the head.
No, you know, I think everybody, like I said, everybody out there, we're feeding off each other's intensity, and when we have somebody playing like that, you know, it's hard not to try to play hard. You know, it's difficult not to try to play hard. I should say. He's pretty smart out there.
You probably have answers, but did that feel like the end of last season?
You know, I think
End of the year before last. I mean, where you wrong.
No, it was a little bit ago. I guess, but I think the enthusiasm and intensity was there all around.
Coach talked about how last year you lost like 8 inches on the vertical thing because of the back injury. How does it feel just to be physically able to really do what you do out there again?
It feels good, but more importantly, you know, it feels good to be able to get out there and just get after it and play really hard, play all out.
Thanks, Ryan.
Play hard and really fortunately.
Can you talk about that last play? What was designed? What you were seeing?
Just the passes, Steve. You know, I kind of rushed it. They played a good day, but you know, we got another game. They don't maneuver. We'll focus on the next one.
Is it hard to get when he came off? Somebody kind of picked him up.
Yeah, you know, a couple of guys talked to me about, you know, I just got to let it go and you know, get ready for the next game.
I mean, was Steve hard to pick up coming off the end of somebody?
Yeah, you know, I just rushed it. You know, it was my first situation, you know what I mean? So I just tried to get the ball out of my hand, basically. So I made it better.
pleased with how you did for most of the night, though, with the boards and hit a big shot down the stretch and had good moves. How were your nerves out there?
I was cool, comfortable, relaxed. I mean, I played at Kansas, you know what I mean? You gotta be confident.
Coach Hat said it's almost like you've been thrown into the deep end just a little bit, though, but do you feel like overall you're grasping it pretty good, even though kind of thrown into it?
These guys are doing a great job of coaching me through a lot of the situations, and, you know, I just want to be ready when my number call, and, you know, I just try to do it tonight.
Any different? Was there any more excitement for you tonight? Andrews, first time to win the game.
Yeah, it was exciting. I was excited to be out there for my first official game, and you know, now I got that under my belt. I'm ready for the next one.
Looked like you had a little extra juice in that first jump. Went over. I think that was when Cowboy was predicting a while ago.
Yeah, he did. He definitely said that. I rushed it. I was excited, like he said.
Kate, forgive me, I couldn't hear what you were saying standing back here, but Rob was talking about your intensity out there and how that really actually fired up the other guys. Can you just talk about that part of your game and what you're trying to bring into it?
You know, being a rookie, you know, I have to bring that every night. You know, try to play as hard as possible so I can steal minutes whenever I'm in the game. And, you know, that's my game, you know, to play hard and still extra possessions and then the rebound.
Thank you.
It's going to mean a little more to you playing against Philly this next game? Or same? Just
same. You know, I mean, if I was there, it would. But, yeah, you know, it's about the same.